Joining us today from occupied East Jerusalem is Sami Abu Shahada. He's a Palestinian-Israeli member of the Knesset, leader of the Balad party. We thank you for your time today. As I was saying to our correspondent in Ramallah before, this is the cycle, isn't it? What is happening right now in Gaza particularly is something that could have happened 5, 10, 15 years ago. Do you see any way of ending it this time?
Well, what's happening exactly now is that Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is trying to keep himself in power and to survive this serious political crisis he found himself in now. And in order not to lose control and not to lose his seat as the Prime Minister in Israel, he is ready to do anything. So all the escalation that we are seeing here has clear political targets from Netanyahu's point of view. And he is ready to do everything to keep himself in power, including all these massacres and casualties that we are going to see in Gaza, in the West Bank, the attacks on the people praying in Al-Aqsa Mosque. Imagine a state attacks its residents, its citizens, while they are praying in a mosque. So what's happening here is a clear political decision that Netanyahu is held responsible for. In order to keep himself for power, he's ready to do all this escalation.
So this is part of the cycle then as well, that a Prime Minister, or particularly Mr. Netanyahu, makes himself look strong and the Israeli people respond positively to that?
Unfortunately, because Israel, or the Jewish society in Israel, is such a militarized society, anything when it gets to do to security or what they believe as security measures, they stop thinking logically. And then they start talking about Israel and Hamas as if there are two symmetric sides. Imagine the gaps in power between a small organization like Hamas and Israel, one of the most powerful states all over the world. And Israel now is attacking Gaza, and they are talking all the time in the Israeli media as if there are two symmetric sides. Now, what's happening now, we are seeing another time massacres in Gaza. It's escalating. So unfortunately, we might see also this horrible scenes, Israeli armed forces attacking Palestinians all over, like what happened yesterday, for example, inside the Green Line, in a mixed city where Arabs and Jews are living together. Yesterday night, Palestinian demonstrators that went out to bring their voice loud against what's happening in Jerusalem and against the attack on Gaza, a Jewish settler-in-law decides to shoot 4 Arab citizens and kills one of them, Shahid Musa Hassouni, a young Arab Palestinian man, was shot by a settler in his city. And now he is having all the political support from all the right-wing parties and the extreme right-wing parties as if the settler was defending himself.
You would reasonably expect then that this will continue, given that the Israeli Defense Minister has approved the call-up of more soldiers and said that the strikes to continue. What could be done to stop it now, to break the circuit here? Who usually helps intervene between Hamas and Israel? Can it happen again this time?
What should happen, in my point of view, is that all of the democratic states that are having international relations with the state of Israel should at least do something when the Palestinian people is being killed. People are getting killed when they are praying. We are seeing massacres in Gaza, massacres in the West Bank. The people, the international arena, at least the democratic states, should tell Israel that such behavior must stop. The Palestinians cannot continue all the time suffering this Israeli aggression and this Israeli oppression. What's happening is really unbelievable. We are having, Palestinians are a people under occupation. Everybody in the world is dealing with this occupation as if it's something natural and taken for granted. Occupation, sir, is a continuous act of violence. The Palestinians have been suffering from this violence for decades, and it must stop.
Sami Abu Shahada from the Balad party. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much.